finding my purpose. Like, that's the biggest thing that I'm manifesting in this season.
You put me back in the wilderness.
I'll call it like an internal wilderness, where I've dealt with things, mentally that I've had to really survive and overcome.
And I never thought that I would be in that space.
What I've come to realize is that when I asked God to help me find my purpose, I don't feel like I was mentally ready to even receive my purpose.
What transpired that then inspired you to lose love for your purpose?
I think it was honestly because I do so much of my creativity and give so much of my creativity for free.
Yes.
And for free. I do it for the free.
What do you think is the biggest hindrance from keeping people away from either finding their purpose or, if they found it, living it?
It's a journey worth traveling, your space for raw conversations and soulful insights around life's journey. Let's explore.
Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Catherine. Storytelling and just being able to take y'all on these trips, it is absolutely a love of mine. And let me just say that this trip that we are about to embark on, it's a special one for me. And it's a special one because it is the first episode we ever recorded. We recorded this episode over a year ago. And not only was it the first episode, but I also got to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is purpose. And I got to go on this trip with two of my favorite people, my sisters. So here I am. It's the first episode and I am so excited, right? My sister is telling her story and she gets so emotional in telling this story. And we just engaged. And then I look over at the soundboard and I forgot to press record. My heart sinks. I'm so disappointed, frustrated at myself. Am I going to have to do this over again? What does that even look like at this point? But in that moment, I made a decision to keep going. And I'm so glad that I did because the episode in totality, it is such a rich episode. And the irony in all this is that the episode is actually called Finding Purpose in the Wilderness. So here it is. We dealing with all these different wild production issues. And I'm having to find the purpose. I'm having to find the value in this episode. I'm having to make a decision to keep going. And that's so much of what we experience when we embark on purpose in life. Because it's so much uncharted territory, so much unknowns, and the challenges, they gonna come. But it's up to us to keep going and to find the beauty in it because purpose is so beautiful. And so is this episode. So I'm looking forward to all the souvenirs that you will collect along the way. Without further ado, let's go find some purpose in the wilderness. So what do you need to know about these two tour guides from me? Well, Kristen is this potent blend of thoughtfulness and boldness. The way she navigates her relationships with people, she does so in a very thoughtful way. She's a giver. And the way she navigates her life, though, is in a very bold way. She is definitely the yin to my yang. I'm excited about you bringing both that boldness and that thoughtfulness to this trip. And then next I have Chelsea. And what I have to say about Chelsea is extremely reflective, and she's also extremely intentional about how she navigates life. I feel like Chelsea's the kind of person, she wakes up every single day and she's just like, how can I be the best version of myself? And I know people want to be better versions of themselves, but Chelsea is actually one of those people, she does it. So I'm looking forward to you bringing that spirit of reflection and intentionality to this trip.
Oh, thank you.
Who is Kristen?
I am a loving, giving person, like you said. Thank you for that. Thank you for your characteristics of me. I don't know if I would categorize myself as that, but thank you for that.
That's for you. That's for you. That's for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Honestly, I can truly say that I'm still learning who I am. But from what I do know so far about myself, is that, like I said, I am definitely a giver. I think that's my love language, is giving to other people, and just to see a smile on someone's face.
Definitely an extreme giver, like for sure, like through and through.
Thank you.
Who is Chelsea?
I've had, many of conversations with myself asking this question over the years.
I told you, reflective and thought and intentional.
And I will say, like, if you asked me this question 2 years ago or, a year and a half ago, I probably wouldn't be able to confidently answer it, because I was in such a space where, I was trying to not only, identify who I was in that moment, but try to figure out, okay, who I wanted to become.
Yeah.
And so I just got into, this milestone year of mine, which is my loving 30s. And so going into this year, as Catherine said, I'm, pretty intentional. So going into my 30s, I wanted to reflect on the things that I wanted to bring into my 30s, the person that I wanted to be in my 30s. And I will say, like, the biggest thing for me is really having a yes year and pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. Like, anybody who hasn't met me knows that I'm super introverted. And, oftentimes I have put myself in a position where, I stay in the background. I don't really like attention. And so I told myself going into this next phase of my life that I was going to put myself into positions that don't necessarily make me feel comfortable, but they're extremely important in helping me grow and to become the person that I want to be. So I'd say I'm doing a heck of a job. Obviously, I'm here doing something that,
That was a champagne.
Oh,
that was a champagne toast.
The fizzle.
The little fizzle.
It's a little
pop.
delay. It's a little delay, but it's okay. It's
Little
okay.
pop.
We give you some applause.
So, let me wait till the applause ends.
I'm gonna find a shorter one.
So yeah, I mean, I think that was really like my biggest goal, and also knowing that whatever space that I'm in, I'm meant to be in that space. Because I think oftentimes, like me, I've struggled with, self-doubt and things like that. I think many of us out there have, but
I know I have.
Yeah.
Me too.
So just knowing that the spaces that I'm in is where God has purposely placed me.
Yes.
So
I love that. I love who Chelsea is, and I love who Kristen is very much so. And again, I'm looking forward to, I know that this is, for both of you all, it's a very vulnerable and a transparent space to be in. And so I thank you in advance. This trip was actually inspired by a conversation that me and Chris had a couple of months ago. And I just remember we were, at this particular time, she was in a different space in her life, and we'll get to all that in a bit. But we were having this conversation about purpose. And I was like, man, like, one thing I love about all of us is that we all are kind of in our own season, and each one is different.
Yeah.
But each one of those seasons, I think that people can absolutely relate to them. Mm-hmm. And so when I was creating this trip, I was like, okay, so where are we finding purpose at, right? Because like you can find purpose on, like, are we going to the island? Like, where are we going? And it was like, no, like, we're going to the wilderness. And I felt like the wilderness to me is very comparable to life. Mm-hmm. Like there's all of this uncharted, when you go into the wilderness, there's all this uncharted just territory and terrain. Mm-hmm. The wilderness is all about just discovery and exploration. The wilderness is an adventure. It has its challenges. It has its unknowns. And for me, when I think about life, like that echoes life for me. So I was like, okay, we're going to go to the wilderness to find some purpose. I want to ask you, like, what is the wilderness for you?
So I think for me, like when I think of wilderness, the first word that really kind of pops in my head is survive. And I think on my personal journey, I have been in, I'll call it like an internal wilderness, where I've dealt with things, mentally that I've had to really survive and overcome. One being, as you know, like anxiety. And I just already touched on, self-doubt. But then, other things that kind of have, come to me like mentally in that space. And so like oftentimes when I'm in that place, or I have been in that place, I find, in my mind that I feel alone, because I'm such an internal person that I oftentimes just like internalize things until I'm ready to talk about it. Yeah. And it's not the best thing to do, because you're literally living with, these thoughts. And so I have been in spaces where, I've internalized those thoughts, and then, you see, like, you almost feel like there's no path forward. But what I've learned to do in those times is to really lean on God and my relationship with God. And I've learned that when I am in those spaces, it typically means that I'm out of alignment with God and his purpose for me and what he's called me to be. And so like oftentimes when we're in the wilderness and we get off the trail, like, all you can see is like just this depth of, forest. You can't find the path forward. You can't see the path forward. And so I know that once I'm back in alignment and where I'm supposed to be, then he'll direct me back to that path. So I think that that's like my biggest thing. And then also on the flip side of that is when you're outside of it and you get back to the path, you're able to look back and see like the beauty in the struggle. Like you're able to see like all the things that you were able to overcome, the strength that you
were able to build.
You were able to build through that.
For sure. That's the thing about purpose is like when you are, if you happen to be, if you happen to be lost, purpose is like the best compass. To me, it is the best sorter.
Yeah, I agree.
J. Crew, if you are enjoying this trip and you have not already, I would love for you to like and subscribe so that you never miss a trip and we can continue to grow our community. Now, back to this trip. What is the wilderness for you?
When I hear the word wilderness, the first thing that comes to my mind is wandering. And like that's basically like how your life is, especially in the beginning. Like you're just wandering through it, trying to figure it out and discover like what is your purpose. And like I can agree with Chelsea, like God is really my anchor. Like when I steer off, get your back on that path. Like, like get back right, like where you're supposed to be.
When I was doing my research for this trip and I looked up the word purpose and like what it means, purpose is the reason you are created, the reason something is done, for which the reason you exist. Like, and to me, like that was so incredibly like just profound, like purpose being the reason why you exist, like the reason why something is done, why something is created.
Yeah.
Like you were created for a purpose.
We were created for purpose.
We weren't just created to just merely exist and to just aimlessly, wander. We were created by God. We were given talents by God to fulfill his divine purpose for our life.
Yes.
So what does purpose mean to you?
When I think about purpose, that's typically what I think about. Like, what am I passionate about? What are my talents? what are my core values, and how can I combine all that together to create something that's going to add value and impact others.
I love that.
She stole my answer.
Twinsies.
Okay, well, you know, what's interesting is that I read a statistic that only 25% of people know their purpose.
I mean, I can see that.
I can see that
I know,
too.
but
I can
that's
see that
so
being
crazy
true.
though. Like that to me is like so crazy that only 25, like that means only 25% of people know the reason why they exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like only 25% of people know the reason why they were created.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that does seem like a low number.
I think one of the things too is like purpose isn't something that is necessarily like taught in school, right?
Yeah, and that's what like a lot of people don't. I mean, you know, like a lot of people aren't thinking like, oh, what's my purpose? You know,
Right.
like they're just living.
Right. Well, let me ask you this first. Like, have you found your purpose?
I think I have found my purpose.
You think you
I
found
know
your
I
purpose?
found my purpose.
Okay. I think.
I think.
I know I found my purpose. I do honestly feel though that I think I have a more purpose though. Like I feel like
Okay, tell us what that look like. What that look like?
I don't know what it is yet, but I feel like
You don't know what it is.
my added purpose.
Okay.
Like
Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Okay, so let's okay, so tell me what do you feel like your purpose is?
So I feel like my purpose, my talent that God has given me,
Okay.
is event design.
No, we're gonna say it. We're gonna say it with some hearts.
Mm-hmm.
It's event design.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to give you the
The birds
I gave you the
chirping.
bird chirping.
You put me back in the wilderness.
My bad. We about to. Oh, my bad.
Should have added some bat sounds in there.
I gotta get these soundboards together. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get there. So, yes. Okay. So event design.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, event.
J. Crew, let me just tell you this real quick. I'm sorry. My sister is an incredibly talented event designer. Her creativity level, the gifts that she extends when it comes to her event design, like it's off the charts. And not only is she good at it, but like you enjoy it.
Yeah.
I've been going on her Instagram page, on her Explorer page, and like all that pops up is like just events. Like she loves this thing.
Yeah, I do. I was telling my mom and my best friend yesterday, I was telling them, I was like, going back from my first event, which was my first baby shower, like I can definitely see my progression.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, I can definitely see my progression over
It was still
time.
a good baby shower.
Yeah, but it didn't compare to what I would have did. You know what I'm saying? Like now, if I was having a baby shower, you know.
Yeah.
But
now your baby shower. Well, the second baby shower was like a wedding.
yeah,
It literally was like a wedding.
but my first one, that was like when I just started. You know, when I first started just getting in there and just playing around and
so, okay,
touching
let me
on my
ask
purpose.
you, when did you first discover that event design was something that not only were you passionate about, but that you felt was your purpose? When did you fall in love with event planning?
I honestly, what made me fall in love with event planning was the reaction of people who I did things, you know, who I did it for. And it was when I wasn't even getting paid, you know, I wasn't getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just that feeling of, you know, like just doing something to put a smile on someone's face that made me fall in love with it. And then I started falling in love with just the act. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The actual creating the events, you know, like, but I don't know exactly when that was. But I know that feeling is what led me to love it.
Chelsea, have you found your purpose?
So I will say I am still on the journey of finding my purpose, my true purpose. I do feel like, I've done things in my life, or I have moments in my life where I do feel like extreme purpose.
Okay, what is that?
Well, one being obviously like when, I'm working with you and Kristen on something, and we're doing things together as a unit. And the second thing is also, well, I feel like I just kind of learned this about myself, but I was having a conversation with this intern at work, and, she was telling me about her goals and where she wanted to be within her career. And so I was just, telling her about all the different opportunities, where I'm working at currently. And I'm like, oh, well, if this is something that you're passionate about, this is something that you want to do, you should, talk to, and I partnered her up or got her in contact with another person that I'm extremely close with at the company, because she does the role that, the intern wanted to be into. So I think connecting her and helping, her reach, the goals that she was trying to accomplish gave me a sense of purpose and fulfillment.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important. It's like we don't have to just be doing our own thing, right? Like, yes, you can have an event planning company, absolutely. But then you can also be a person who just enjoys helping and imprinting on other people's platform, or on other people's purpose. And that's just as fulfilling, and that's just as purposeful.
Yeah.
With Chelsea, what I know about her is that, like, she's very intentional about finding it. And the way she's navigating that space is like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to attach myself to other purposeful things. And I really feel like that is such a great way to be able to find or activate purpose, like through being able to imprint on other people's platforms. And it's like, oh, you know what? Like, I like that. Or let me create my own little variation of that.
Yeah.
One thing that I had to come to the realization of is that when I was talking, I was praying about it,
Praying about
finding purpose. Okay. I was praying about it. And this was, obviously it's more of a constant thing, but what I'm referring to is probably about a year ago. And what I've come to realize is that when I ask God to help me find my purpose, or to let me know what my purpose is, to direct me in that path, I don't feel like I was mentally ready to even receive my purpose at that time.
Okay.
And I feel like the space that I'm in now, and where I'm headed,
You're ready.
I'm ready to receive my purpose. Because
money.
Had I
yes, money.
yes, money.
Yeah, that was good.
But had I received it, back then, I don't think I would have actually, like, he could have given me the guided directions, and I probably still wouldn't have, like, mentally been prepared to take on that task of fulfilling my purpose. But now I feel like I'm in a place where I know that whatever it is that he has in store for me, I'm going to conquer it.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm so glad that you said that, though, but I feel like that's clutch. That's clutch, because it's not just about having, like, the right opportunity, because you can have the right opportunity and it could be the wrong timing, and it's just a fail because it's not the right, it's not the right timing. Like, you weren't, like you said, like, you weren't ready for it. And so I believe in order to be able to generate and maximize success, you've got to have not only the opportunity, but you also have to have the right timing.
Crew, and here comes the audio blunder. So please be patient with us.
Kristen, a conversation that we were having really is what inspired this trip. And so a couple of months ago, she was in a different season, okay? And that's what we were just talking about, right? Like, it's all about timing. Yeah. So, okay, first tell us the season that you were in a couple of months ago.
I was over it. I was completely over my purpose a couple months ago.
I didn't want to do it anymore. I just felt like, because I also want to have an event space,
Okay.
and
You will. Have an
I
event.
also am gonna have an event space.
Yes, claiming it.
And so I was just at the point where like I'm just gonna do the event space. Like I don't want to do events anymore. Like I was just kind of over it. I was like I think I've done, all I can. I kind of lost my love for it a little bit.
What made you feel that way? Like what transpired?
I think it was honestly because like I do so much of my creativity and give so much of my creativity for free.
Yes.
And
For the free.
I do it for the free.
She don't be
I don't be passionate.
if she was doing this a little bit more, okay? She would have lost the love. She lost the love because she wasn't charging me, but she was just doing it for free. You can't be out here working for free. Dude,
I know, but like that, I mean, because like that's my purpose, and like that was my love language, like that's how I would give,
Remember when I said she was stopping
But it definitely, event planning definitely takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and like when you're not being financially compensating, and I'm the type of person that like I'll overspend, like for it to be how I want it to be, like I will go broke, like yeah. And I ain't recouping nothing. So I think that's why I was just over it. And I felt like the event space, like is a cash cow. Like, like I could just do that. Like I could just run and manage this.
Ooh, okay, wait. Why do you feel like, so what it sounds like you're saying is that like when it comes to the event space, you're gonna make money and it's easier.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, it's definitely easier.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Is purpose easy, Chelsea? Nope. If it was easy,
But I'm not.
if it was easy, 25% of people
More than 25%.
More than 25%. I was waiting for you to finish it.
No, but I think though, like that's where that's just the space I was in at the time.
I can completely relate to the fact when it's something that you feel like is your purpose and you are truly passionate about it and you're doing it out of love, it is hard to monetize those things.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And so like with Chris, I'll be having to have people call me like, okay, so tell me what your budget is. Okay, so she's getting da 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 da.
Yeah.
But I understand because like because she loves to do it, it's hard for her to just have that money conversation with people. But it's also causing for her to burn out. And before she even gets really started, to her bag. And I just would hate for you to not walk in alignment and to truly get to your highest version of self because you're burnt out, because you just weren't able to have that conversation with people.
Yeah. I was definitely over it.
Okay, so then what made you say, no, I'm not going to allow for this feeling of me wanting to be over it. I'm not going to allow that to like,
sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm not going to allow for that to impact me. Like how I got to override that.
It came from you.
It's okay. Here we go.
It came from the conversation we had. Basically, like you can't give up on what God has called you to do.
Yeah.
So,
because I know, like, that you just what my sister is able to, the way she's able to creatively extend and what she's able to creatively extend, it truly is a gift. And I just would never want to see you stifle that gift.
Yeah.
Because that is so unique to you, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna have like whatever we gotta do, like whatever I gotta do, I gotta manage you. Like you tell me like what I need to do, I'm going to do that, you know, because all I want to do is see like both of my sisters like absolutely living in their purpose.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, to add on to that, it's like one of those things like you just said, like I want you both to just win.
Yeah.
And whatever I can do, like, I mean, we all have our strengths. So whatever I can do that plays into my strengths to help you, whatever that is, whatever, you know, that is for you with event planning, you know, this podcast, whatever, you know, during work traveling, whatever I can use my strengths for, like that gives me purpose.
Yeah.
So I know, like we've talked about me being like the more organized
Definitely.
out of us too.
Definitely.
So like, you know, honestly, like I just want to continue to extend myself to you guys, because when you guys win, it's like, you know, we all win.
J. Crew, if y'all don't got no sisters, y'all gotta get y'all some sisters. Y'all can't have mine, but y'all can go find some. Maybe y'all can go adopt some sisters. But no, I mean, it's such a blessing to be able to have like this kind of support group.
Yeah.
You know, like people that are cheerleading for you, because the journey is not easy. The climb is hard as, you know, and to have people in your corner who see something in you, and they're going to make sure that when you don't got the fuel, you know, like they letting you know, like, no, but you got it, you know, and whatever I gotta do to like help fill you up, I'm gonna do that.
Even if we gotta put you on our back, girl.
Even if I gotta carry you, like
Definitely pouring into my cup.
yeah,
You know, like, because I was ready to
throw it all away.
like forget this. Like I was definitely over. It was definitely a struggle for me, and I never thought that I would be in that space. You know, like coming from just like my passion for it and, you know, just loving it. Like I never thought I would be in that season where I was like, I'm over it. I don't want to do it anymore. But
you overcame it, girl.
Yeah, you brought it back to me. Yeah, you put it, you know, like that conversation that we had really was like, it brought me back to like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Like,
it sorted you as capital.
Yeah, it sorted me.
Number one, I wanted to say, like, I'm just honored that I was able to be a vessel in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But additionally, I'm blessed that you were able to receive it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to be able to have a conversation with somebody and try to like edify them in that conversation, but it's another thing for that person to actually like receive it.
Yeah.
And it means something to them.
Yeah, because most of the time when you say stuff to me, like I hear it.
Yes.
I hear what you say.
Yes.
But sometimes I just don't, you know, like I'll.
That's how I say, listen, J. Crew, I said, she thought though, and she beat by her own drum, right? And we be like, you know, Kristen, she gotta flush it out. She gotta, you know, she gonna flush it out. But no, I'm blessed that you received it in that way, and that you decided to just recharge and reactivate yourself and keep going. Because I know the events that you're going to plan. I know the women that you're going to be able to speak to about your journey, the impact that you are going to be able to make through your own testimony is worth traveling.
Guess what?
Guess
what? Guess what now?
Tell us.
The money coming in. The money coming in. The money coming in.
I think there's a little cash register delay, but it's okay. We're gonna get there. What do you think is the biggest hindrance from keeping people away from either like finding
their purpose, or if they found it, living it?
I can speak for me. My biggest hindrance has always been my subconscious and my and the self-doubt that comes with my subconscious mind.
Yes.
You know,
not yes to you, yes to me. I can relate to that.
well, I'm sure, many, like, honestly, many people can, relate to it because it's, I mean, I had to, like, really just start having more, like, positive self-talk with myself.
Give us some examples, tour guide. Tell us what that's about. What is that positive?
Well, it depends. So let's say, for instance, with this podcast, like, even though it's, I've been working on the whole positive self-talk, the subconscious thoughts don't stop.
They don't. It's attending to process.
It's attending to. Yes, it is attending to. And so, when you called me or we spoke about, doing the podcast, I was super excited. I was like, okay, yeah, like, this is going to be something exciting. This is going to get me out of my comfort zone. And next thing I know, you know what I call my subconscious. I don't know if I can curse on this.
No, you can call. You can say it. Tell us what you call
So
her.
I call my subconscious that bitch. So
Yeah.
that bitch was hating for real. She was hating. She was like, she was like, well, what do you have? Like, what do you have to contribute to this podcast?
My light.
Yes,
My light.
and that's really what it is. It's like, no, I have a lot to give. I have my own testimony to share. I have, there are people that are going through the same things that I'm going through. But that's pretty much been the journey that I've been on. Like, I will say, like, this past year, because before that, I went through that phase of just, like, aimlessly wandering and almost getting into, like, more of a depressed state from not knowing, like, what my purpose is. And so, and it took a really big mental toll on me because, as I've spoken, I internalize things before I even really speak about it. Sometimes I sit with things way longer than I need to. And I think now I've come to that realization of I wasn't ready then. I'm ready now. And I also have more patience now. Like, I also have patience in knowing, like, what God has in store for me, it's gonna come.
Yeah.
And no matter how long it takes to get here,
It's gonna come.
it's gonna come. And so,
And you have to be ready to receive it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it's not.
And I think that that's a continuous process because even though I mentally feel like, I'm ready and I'm ready to receive it, I still think that there's internal work that I'm going to continuously be doing. I mean, even when you're on the actual journey, you find your purpose, you still have to do the work.
Woo. Yeah. Don't you?
What do you think is the biggest hindrance?
I could say so. For me too. Honestly, it was self-doubt. But I'm glad I ain't for it.
That bitch.
You can have that name too.
Well, that bitch was getting on my nerves. Yeah,
We can talk.
She was talking around all the time.
DB.
Yeah. But yeah, because, like, when I did, like, of course, I was doing what I love, but when I did want to monetize off of it, it was like no one was like coming to me for, to do events. And I would go and see I would go like on Instagram or whatever, and I would see these other people events, and I'd be like, how the hell is they getting all this money and doing all this events, and my shit look way better, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was just like in that, it was like that self-doubt was like, I mean, obviously, like, maybe they don't rock with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it's not as good as you think it is, or maybe, and then on top of that, people don't want to, people also don't want to pay, what it costs.
Okay.
Too. So
I got a couple things there.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So because like I really believe in this law of attraction type of thing, right? So do you think because you have been doing it for free for so long, like you were putting out that free energy, not getting into the bag energy? Do you think that may have had something to do with it, or?
I mean, maybe. I think I wasn't in the right environment also.
because
Talk to him.
like I wasn't around the right people who want to spend the money. You know, once I did Baby Daddy event, you know, that's when, you know, people started seeing, they're like, oh, can you do this? Can you do my birth? You know, can you do my birthday? Can you do, you know? So I think I wasn't in the right environment. Like I probably at that time really wasn't ready to step out of my comfort zone.
Okay, stay there. Okay, with me.
Right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
pause.
Okay.
Okay, let me go back to my.
Okay.
We go back to the environment. But I think there's something like that's money right there, because in order for you to be able to thrive, you know, like within your purpose to soar to the heights that you are destined to soar, like you have to figure out, like, is this the most edifying environment for me? Is this the most fortified? Is this fertile ground that I'm on? Or do I need to exit stage left and go somewhere else that in a space that's really going to be able to appreciate me? Yeah. And it sounds like it was like, yeah, no, like, okay, maybe the people that I was around couldn't necessarily see my, you know what I'm saying, or see the value. Mm-hmm. But I know the value inside of me. Yeah. You know, like we are our biggest advocates. I may need to step into a different environment for people to really be able to see what I know is inside of me.
My seed wasn't planted in the right soil.
Mm. So the environment aspect, yes. Okay, and then the other aspect was that you run it back. I can't remember everything. I can't remember everything. I said pause and hold it.
Oh.
So the environment, and then also our mind gonna help us in a little while. Okay, Chelsea, what do you think about what's your environment gotta look like? What kind of environment do we need to be curating as purpose-driven people, or to be able to, if we're in that phase of discovery, what does our environment need to look like?
What my set gotta look like?
What your set gotta look like?
I think for me personally, it's about intentionality every day, but also being surrounded by people that are just as driven and focused as I am. Yeah. You know, people that are on obviously not the same journey, but they're walking, you know, towards their purpose. They're not just, you know, worried about just existing. Yeah. You know, they want to figure out their purpose. They're working towards that. We're constantly motivating each other. We're constantly, you know, when one of us is down, we refueling each other and picking each other back up. I mean, I think that's like the most important thing for me is just being surrounded by, you know, people that I can pour into and that will pour into me right back. I mean, we have to fill up our own cups.
Yeah, we have to fill up our own cups.
We have to fill up our own cups, but it is important to be.
Wasn't recording?
What happened?
It wasn't recording.
It wasn't recording?
The whole time?
Not the whole.
Oh, you mean like after the first break?
Listen, J. Crew, it is absolutely a climb. Okay, our audio, I messed up. You know, took us on a little detour with our trip, but we back right now. So audio should be back at 100%. But Kristen, you was dropping a gem on us in terms of your seed not being planted on good ground. Mm-hmm. Elaborate, please. What that mean?
Well, it basically goes back to the environment that I was in. You know, like my seed wasn't planted where it could grow. Mm-hmm. It was in some fallow ground, fallow soil, ground. Now it's in the right soil, and we blooming.
Perfect segue into telling us where are you at right now in your current season? What that look like?
So, it's Jean.
Okay.
So I'm in the season where I am back loving what I do.
Amen. Amen.
Um,
We're gonna give her a time. We're gonna give her applause. We pop a bottle for her. Pop one for her. Pop. I love that for you. Now let me ask. So I think one of the things, whether you're discovering, whether you're activated, whether you're on that climb, I think one of the things that we have to like definitely be mindful of is going all in. So do you feel like you were all in back then?
No, I don't think I was all in back then. And I think a part of it was because, you know, like I wasn't making the revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Like the revenue, I mean, it definitely adds, you know, to your purpose. Like I'm still gonna have that part of me that's still, you know, that's still going to do certain things just off the cuff, off the strength of the love and like I'm never gonna charge. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm never gonna charge y'all for doing any, you know, because I mean that's my love.
We can pay you.
No,
we can pay you.
But the monetary aspect has definitely helped me get back to loving, you know, to loving
because
it.
the thing is, you want to do it for a living. In order for you to do purpose for a living, you gotta be able to make a living in doing it.
Mm-hmm. And I think another reason too why I wasn't all in was because I still had that bitch in my ear talking about, you know, like
DB.
you can't do certain events. Mm-hmm. Like your creativity is not there. Like you're not a wedding person. You're not a, you know, like a big event. Like your birthday parties. You're just minimal, you know? So I've gotten over that, you know, too. And it was definitely like a fear too. Like, you know, like I can't do that. I can't do that.
Okay, I got another one. We're gonna extinguish them bad thoughts.
Oh, I was gonna say, oftentimes too, what I'll see is like people won't even post their stuff on social media for like fear of like what other people will think or fear of like not being supported, you know? And I think that's a fear for a lot of us, but I also think it's unfortunate because so many people like are just doing dope shit. And it's like the support will come. Even if it's not from the people closest to you.
Yes.
Like the support is gonna come. You just gotta keep living out your purpose, pursuing your passions, like post your stuff because somebody is gonna support it.
When you're walking in that path of alignment with purpose and with, you know, with God and everything like that, like to your point, the support, the gifts, they will come. Mm-hmm. And yes, I think ideally we want them to be from the people that we're closest with, right? And I'm very blessed for that to be my set. But what I would just encourage people to do is like, even if the closest people around you aren't supporting you, you walking in purpose, like you have to know that support and that those gifts, like they're absolutely going to come. They are going to be attracted to you. To your point, this morning, my one of my dad's really close friends, he saw me and he had something for me, and it was just like this. He was like, it was just this picture, you know, it's this picture and it said, what's the, can you grab me the picture frame right there?
Girl, I thought you was talking about your carpenter gave you that.
No, Charles gave me. I did say Charlie, no, did I? Okay, so thank you. Success isn't owned, it's leased, and rent is due every day. And so he saw me walking out, and he was just like, thank you, right? He was like, I got something for you. I got something for you. You know, and like every single time I see him, like he's just trying to like pour into me.
No,
like,
same with me.
Yeah.
Like in my events, like, girl, when you gonna do this? When you gonna do this? When you gonna get it together? When you gonna do this?
Yeah. And so like that's what God gives you. You know, like when you're in alignment, like he's going to make sure that you are sorted. Mm-hmm. Things that you need are going to be attracted to you. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and that's like, I think that's the reason why, like, I would be so, when you are in purpose and you start to be in that alignment and have these days that are like truly cultivated by God, it's like, I don't even want to know what that, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want to know what the flip side of that is at this point, you know? So to your point, like the only person that can be my own hindrance is me.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's the only person. And even if the people around you don't or aren't supporting you, there's like, how many billions of people are there in the world? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't think that out of all those billions of people that somebody gonna need what you got to give?
Yeah.
It's a billion people in this world. Somebody is gonna need your gifts.
Yeah.
Somebody is gonna need your services. Somebody's gonna need your purpose. Somebody is gonna need your talents.
Yeah. And it's sad to say too, like sometimes your closest people are people that know you don't want to see you shine. They don't want to see you living out your purpose.
Yeah. Because they're not living out theirs. That's the only reason why people, because we have this grasshopper mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like we are in survival mode instead of thrive mode. So when we see people out here, you know, like doing it and getting to it and living, like truly living in fulfillment, and we're not, like when you don't, I mean, God, that's so, like how disheartening is that to go your entire life and to never activate the reason why you exist? Like that's some heavy, you know what I'm saying?
You can say it.
That's some heavy shit, but that bitch, she trying to keep you from that. Okay, so Chelsea, what does your all in look like?
That's a great question, Catherine. I would say, obviously, I'll know once I get there, but I think if I'm forward thinking and how I want to cultivate my set, but I also think it's really just going to be being able to wake up every day and know that I'm having an impact on other people's lives. Because I feel like with purpose, obviously, like the money is going to come, you know, but what I think about purpose, like I know what's going to be my purpose if I can identify how I'm going to impact people's lives, like what my overall like goal and mission is that I'm trying to accomplish. And then on the back end, like think about the monetary thing. But yeah, I just really want to be able to do something that inspires others and impacts them every single day.
Yeah.
So I would say that's what my set is going to look like.
That's what it looks like. I'm good. What does your all in look like, Kristen?
I would say
Is you all in now?
I believe I am.
What's that all in set look like?
I mean, just, you know, continuing to do what I love, you know, and making sure that I stay loving what I'm doing.
How do you ensure that? Like outside of, so we talked about obviously like the financial piece and everything like that being integrated into this in a more intentional way. Like we get into the money, but how do you stay activated?
I think honestly, just like reminding myself like every single day, like this is what God gave you. This is your purpose from God.
Yeah.
Like don't squander it.
Don't squander it.
Yeah.
Don't squander it. I would say like for me, when I've had to like juggle multiple things, the most disheartening thing was when I was doing a disservice to my purpose because I was having to juggle so many things. And so where it landed me was where I wasn't in season and I wasn't on beat. You know what I'm saying? And so I remember when we went to go pitch this particular docuseries, and this docuseries is supposed to be done some time ago, but the reason why I hadn't is because I was juggling all these things, right? So we finally get into this network that I had literally envisioned this particular docuseries for. And she was like, yeah, you know, like we like it. It's cool. It's really great, but we're not going in that direction anymore. And it was such a huge blow because I know, like, had I just been more intentional
about getting everything done in that particular season, in the season that God gave me the idea, I would have been good. You know, and so when he put a new song in my mouth, a new idea, it was like, nah, like you gotta go get it. You gotta be all in with it. You gotta sing, you know what I'm saying? Like on beat, you gotta be in the pocket. Like do not squander this.
Yeah.
Run.
Yeah, can we get some hand claps in here?
I'll give myself a clap.
Clap, clap.
We'll give myself a clap.
Clap it up.
I was gonna say, like, one of the things too that I think Pastor Kelly, our pastor, she be dropping so many gems on Sunday. She really do. But one of the things that she said is consistency is currency.
Oh, I wrote that down.
Did you write that down?
I wrote that down.
That was so good.
I said that was such a word, Pastor Kelly. I was like, I think I put it in our group chat. I was like, woo. I was like, did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Because
consistency is currency.
Consistency is currency. So when we talk about like being all in, it's that consistency.
Give it up for Pastor Kelly.
Give it up for Pastor Kelly.
Shout out to Dunamis Outreach Ministries.
Yes, PK.
And Pastor Kelly.
So you talked about impact, Chelsea, which I think is a huge part of purpose. Purpose isn't just for us, it's also for other people.
It doesn't even have to be a lot of people. Like, I feel like impact isn't necessarily like a numbers game. It's not necessarily about like, oh, I'm impacting, one person versus, 100 people, or I have to impact 1,000 people. Like, that's my goal number. Like, no, if I can make a difference in one person's life, that's purposeful to me.
Yes. Okay. See, that's a word. Going back to our senior pastor, Pastor Lane, like that's what he said. He always would say, like, I wanna raise big people. Mm-hmm. And I really feel like, to Chelsea's point, it's so important. Like, it's all about quality over quantity for me.
Yeah.
Like I remember, this is when I just knew everything that I have had to like endure, like this is worth it, when my writing partner, she was imprinting on one of our projects. And this was our first time working together, right? And so she always was passionate about writing, but she never had something specific for herself. And she obviously was doing things in a purposeful way, like she was attaching herself to something that was purposeful, but she didn't necessarily have something specific for herself. So now she's like more writing in the mental health space, something that she can really relate to. And when she told me that it was because of us working together, I was just like, if that's the only one, like I'm good with that, because it was just like that one is enough.
Yeah.
That one moves the needle. That one moves the needle a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I pray that it's more. Like obviously you want to be a vehicle and you want to be a vessel and be able to make an impact in whatever way God would have you. But if it was just a one, like, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like
you said, quality over quantity. And so I think that's the biggest thing for me is it doesn't matter how many people. It's just about the impact that I can leave.
I think that we all have like especially, I mean, everybody, but like one purpose that we do like have, like just that's automatic, is like spreading God's love.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just, I think that's just like everybody's, like, like everybody's purpose, like spreading God's love and, just taking care of people,
being givers.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing to really maximize your purpose in this season? What does that look like for you?
I think it's just to continue to make sure that I'm planted in the right soil, and that my seeds continue to grow. Just keep pushing, like keep reminding myself every day that like this is for me. This is what God has for you.
What kind of support do you feel like you need in this particular season?
Just encouragement. Just encouragement and, I can always use a prayer. Encouragement, prayer, and just, conversation, a listening ear.
Outside of that, is there anything else that you feel like we can do for you to help you in that space? Anything additionally?
Just continue when I text you and ask you what you think about this.
Be your confirmation. Be your confirmation crew.
Yeah.
Be the confirmation crew.
Hey.
Chelsea, I might tag you in if I get something like major that I feel like I need someone to keep me on track with budget and do me a spreadsheet.
I got you, girl.
Help me with some management.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's about all. And just y'all being there, like is really enough, for me.
Chelsea, what kind of support you need?
I mean, honestly, I echo what Kristen said. I think you guys already for you guys, you guys already do such a great job, of just being sounding boards for me. Mm-hmm. When I'm in certain spaces, in my life. And even though, I will say one thing about me, even though I internalize a lot, I do come to y'all and talk to y'all a lot about the things that are going on. It may take me a little second to actually talk about it. But, the one thing I can say is I can always count on you guys to be there and to give me the love, support, and encouragement that I need. Same thing with mom. Mom, I go to her, I'm like, Mom, I was like, I need you to say a prayer for me today. Yeah. And she's like, all right, sweetie.
You better have a praying mama. We got to get our mom is our tiger. We about to give her some growls. Some roar. Yeah, some roars. We got a tiger mom. For real.
Anytime you need her, when she answer the phone, when the phone is by her,
right.
she pick up. She go say that
I'm
prayer
not
for you.
always there when you call, but I'm always on time.
Right.
That's her song. Chris has 2 kids.
Yep.
My chickadees.
Yep.
Got 2. That's what we got. She actually did an incredible event yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was yesterday for my niece's birthday. It was Barbie themed. Mm-hmm. And my sister throws down with the events. She puts everything into these events. You really do.
Especially for my loved ones.
Yeah.
You definitely have to do my kids' events because
oh, for sure.
So I think that's a perfect segue into we all know why purpose is so important, right? So how are you going as a mother? How are you currently supporting or going to support the kids when it comes to finding and living in their purpose?
I definitely by exploring their talents. Mm-hmm. Whatever they want to do, I allow them to do it. Mm-hmm. I don't, and I always want them to go step outside the box too, and try different things.
Yeah.
But too, I think I have to do this more. My daughter is really she in her bag when it comes to God. She don't play about God. She loves church. She be on it. Mom, I won't go in a Bible study. I'm going to, she's definitely on it. She prays. She the go-to. Monroe, say the prayer. She's the go-to. But I think that keeping them centered with God will also, lead them on the path, of course, for their purpose. So that's important to me. And like I said, just making sure that, whatever they want to do, they're able to do it. So they can figure out what their talents are.
Yeah. I think to your point, exposure is everything, And so with exposure being everything, I realize, because, okay, number one,
obviously, like within me living out my purpose, one of my purposes is to, you know, help support other people in finding theirs and filling up their cup. But I'm doing such a disservice if I don't start with the people that are closest to me, right? And so as I was like coming up with these, you know, as I was preparing for the trip, I realized that I had, you know, like a misstep, because there was an opportunity for me to bring the kids into the space and to help, you know, and to have them help me throughout this process. Now, granted, we had a really tight timeline, so I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just like, we just gotta get this done, you know?
Yeah.
But I was like, man, like that was a bit of a misstep. So I'm gonna right that wrong. We're gonna remove all the accessories and like put them in the other room. And then what they doing on Wednesday? Her kids be busy. They be busy. So what they doing on Wednesday?
Starting school.
Oh, okay. Oh, already. Dang, okay. Well, baby, I'm gonna pick them up after school.
They have a half a day.
Okay, yeah, okay, there
You
it
get out at
is.
12 o'clock.
There it is. I'm gonna pick them up from school. We're gonna order some pizza, and then I am going to have them come into the space and, you know, just like hang up pictures and things like that, because I think that's what's so important. We talked about this several times with like the event space. It's like we definitely want to bring the kids in and have them involved with that whole process as it pertains to like us making decisions and asking them like, you know, what it is that they think to get their involvement. And because I really do feel like exposure is everything.
I agree. I think that's really how like we get, especially as kids, because, you know, we're still developing. And so I think that's how we really get inspired about like the things that we want to do in life.
I agree.
Is by what we see and what we're exposed to when we're young.
When I think about the fact that for me, like a couple of things, like, but the way I discovered my purpose in terms of just my love for storytelling was because somebody saw something in me. You know, like when I was in high school, like the social set, like that was what was important. And then I took this production class, and Mr. Z, he gave me 2 television shows. And it was through those 2 shows, Student Spotlight and South of Success Stories, where I'm listening to other people's stories and them talking about their future, or them talking about their present and what they were currently contributing. And that was like the first time that I really started thinking about, you know, like my future, but that was through story. So had I not been exposed to that, had I not been given that opportunity, you know, I mean, maybe I would have discovered it later. I'm sure I would have discovered later on, but I was blessed to have discovered it in high school. And even when I think about like our parents, right? Like, okay, y'all, like my mom, I don't think there's one like art space that she hasn't been in.
Yeah, she's tried everything.
Everything. She tried
jewelry making, stained glass,
mosaic
tile.
Like everything.
She painted at one point.
She painted. And so like our Saturdays were always comprised, I feel like, with like just different creative activities. You know, like do y'all remember like going downstairs and painting the wall?
Yeah.
Y'all remember that? Y'all do? Okay. Remember that? It was what color was it?
It was multicolored.
What was the main color, Kristen?
What wall are you talking about?
So you lying. You don't remember. Do you remember or not?
Where was we at?
We was on San Jose, Kristen.
In the basement?
Yes, bro. Was you not a part of that arts and craft project?
Oh, in the laundry room.
Yes.
Blue.
Yes.
Wasn't it blue?
I think it was purple.
Well, it's close enough.
Yeah, that was close. That was close. You remember that, Chelsea?
I remember. I don't necessarily remember that it was purple, but I do remember it just being like all these different colors on there.
I don't think so.
It wasn't?
It was like purple, like the background was purple, and then it was like I remember doing like my little flower thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I think my flower was yellow. Yeah. But like mom, like I think that's where we really get so much of our creative side from, is because of mom's exposure and just showing us. Like, I mean, she had a whole work table downstairs. Like the what is it? You know, when you have the solder, she had the soldering, you know what I'm saying? She had like the soldering tools. I mean, it was just like, she that true. And now, y'all, she crochets.
Yes.
I swear.
She makes blankets.
She makes
Hats, scarves,
mittens.
mittens. Yes.
I gotta have her make one for the studio. Yeah, for sure.
Blue sage.
Yeah.
Maybe sage and mauve and cream.
Yeah, probably something like that. Exactly. Yep.
Or blue. That blue is pretty. Blue,
Yeah,
blue
I can do
mauve.
that.
Yep. Get her.
But
Have
yeah,
her get you together.
I'm gonna have her do that. But yeah, so like I feel like being exposed to that creativity for me was really, important. And then with dad to me, watching him like flip houses and just being this incredible entrepreneur, watching him like my dad, he's a visionary. Like he's a vision actionary. That's the term I came up with. I made that up. You know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's good though.
Yeah, I like
okay,
it.
Okay,
We're
great.
gonna roll with it.
Okay, yep. Money. I'm gonna give us some money for that. But yeah, he's like this huge vision actionary. And I think watching him just being able to turn like nothing into something and just the success that he's been able to acquire and accumulate, like that's been so inspiring to me. And this man is a man, he like dad to me is one of those people like he never gives up, like he is the get it done man.
Yeah. Started from the bottom. Now we here.
We here.
And I think even as like obviously as aunts, because we're not parents yet, but just making sure like we're pouring into them and feeding into their passions.
Okay, well, Chelsea talked about the fact that at some point she's going to have chickadees. So I think that's a great segue into the fact that, when it comes to your forever partner, your husband, your significant other, that spouse, and how they navigate purpose, like with you, like what are your requirements when it comes to that? Like, what do you need for him to do for you when it comes to purpose?
Well, first we got to be equally yoked. That's it. Because if we're not equally yoked, we're not even gonna see eye to eye when it comes to purpose.
Yes. What about you, Chelsea?
Oh, I didn't know Kristen was done.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you done? Besides equally yoked?
I think that's big. That's big.
That's number one on my list.
Yeah.
That's number one on my list.
Being equally yoked. And like supporting each other, like pouring into each other, is important, and always pushing each other to be our best version of ourselves.
Yeah.
I think that's what I am claiming the God gives me and my husband.
Man. Chelsea?
Well, Kristen pretty much took mine as far as like the whole supportive aspect. That's a big thing for me is just supporting each other through, our peaks and our valleys, our highs and our lows, especially when it comes to pursuing the things that we're passionate about. There are going to be those times where, we may be individually struggling. So being able to like have the capacity to pick each other back up.
Yeah.
When that's needed, And I also want someone that's also like extremely goal oriented, and they want to do things that have that impact on other people's lives.
Yeah.
I think that that's important too. They are pursuing their purpose, and they, know what that purpose is.
But even if they don't know what that purpose is,
That's
like
what
that you're there to help
You know,
guide
okay.
them.
Yes.
To figure out what their purpose, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, of course it comes from God, but like that you're there, like assisting them along the way. Like, I think it's perfectly fine if your husband isn't there and doesn't know what his purpose is. But
I agree with that.
But you're there to.
So that's not a deal breaker for you.
No. It's not. That's not a deal breaker for me.
Okay.
It's not a deal breaker.
And that's obviously it's not a deal breaker.
No, because it just might not be his season. It's not. I mean, it's not a time limit.
I think my only requirement is that you have to be you have to desire discover.
And that's what I was going to say. Relentlessly pursue your passion.
You got to be on a quest for discovery.
For your purpose. Yeah.
So specifically, how are you going to support your husband on his purpose-driven journey?
I will say for me, obviously, like just being there, speaking, speaking words of encouragement, speaking life, into them, into their dreams.
Oh, I love that.
Also, like filling in the areas where they're not that aren't necessarily their strong suit, because I feel like that's the thing about a partnership. Like, like his strong suits may not be my strong suits, but they may be areas that, I lack, but he can, he can pick it up. He can fill in and vice versa. The areas that he lack, I may be, extremely strong in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that that's the beauty of being in
A partnership.
Yeah. Yes, with somebody is, that you guys can really, support each other in that way.
Yeah, I agree. Chris?
I mean, I agree with that. And just pray for him.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Pray for
Everybody
that
needs
man.
prayer. Yeah. I think for me, it's like, I want to just be able to create an environment like where, because I know the climb is hard, like that shit is, look, you could be in the midst of it and you got all this stuff going on. You forget to press the record button. Like it's always something. And those little things can be the things that are like the tipping point for you, like that could be the one thing that makes you be like, what, I don't got it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna give up on all this. So I think to be able to like create this safe space for, like my husband is really important. Like I want him to know, like I want him to be able to come to me and feel like, okay, like this is the person who outside of God, who I get most recharged with, like I want that place, like when he comes home or when he's around me, when he's like in my sphere, like he feels safe and I energize him, because of the connection and the partnership that we have.
Yeah.
And
And you're also able to have that dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, because I need to, like, I want to know how I can help you, babe. Like,
Yeah.
I want to know how I can assist you
So you're
on this
asking
journey.
questions.
Yeah.
That's the question you're asking.
I'm asking questions.
You're asking questions.
Because if I don't ask, I'm not going to know,
Yeah.
True.
Communication is key.
Communication be key.
That's the word.
Well, speaking of support and all of that good stuff, I just want to be able to be everything that I can for you all in whatever season you are in. So I have something.
Okay, now we love gifts. We love gifts.
Shows,
Thank you.
This is for you.
Thank you.
Chris, this is for you.
Thank you.
Okay, who wants to open first?
Okay, go ahead, Chris. You open first.
I'll go since I'm the oldest.
Yes.
Oh, my business card.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yes. You found them?
No.
Oh, you ordered?
I already. How'd you go do that though? How'd you go just be? You found them? No, I ordered you some. Damn.
Thank you so much.
Wait, I want to see. You got to show everybody.
Oh my gosh, because I'm going to be passing them out next Saturday. Getting more clients.
Yes, senior designer.
Ooh, that's
I'm going to put them on the table.
yes.
Those are so nice.
Yes.
Something to
thank
tide you over,
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we doing with these business cards? What does that look like for you?
We giving them out.
Okay.
Yeah, we giving them out.
Okay.
We getting...
Oh, okay.
We getting plays off these cards.
Yes.
And you also have to commit to start posting your stuff
Yes.
on your page.
Talk to her,
Because
Chelsea,
you do
what need
post
to be
on your
doing.
story every
know.
now and then. We have one video out there. The
Yeah.
one of Mary's party.
I was gonna do my rose party as a post.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't. I should have did it as a post.
Yeah.
You can still do it.
Yeah, I can
I
still
mean,
do
'cause
it.
it's her birthday.
Yeah.
So you can always, you can make it about y'all. You're gonna make it about us.
Yep. That's true.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes. So that's what you're gonna take into this
Yes.
this new season.
Yes, knowing that your work
is more than good enough.
Yes.
It is supreme. It is premium. It is of value.
Thank you. I received that.
And nobody can do what you do
Amen.
because God uniquely designed you.
Come on, Chelsea. Come on. I'm gonna give you some more money. Yeah. All right, Chelsea.
Okay. Ooh, cause you know I love a good book.
This is one of my favorites, Chelsea.
Yes. Ooh, and you know I love a good journal.
You know, she love a good journal.
Trust the journey. Yes, amen. And the book is The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson. Yes. Follow your God-given destiny.
Woo! So this is like literally one of my favorite books. It's this simple parable about this. I won't ruin it for you, but it's a parable about the protagonist. His name is Ordinary, and it's all about him leaving the land of familiar and embarking and what that journey looks like. I mean, this is it's a great book. No matter what season of your life you're in, whether you're in the discovery, the activation, the climb phase, like I can read this book 100 times, and every single time I read it, I get something new. And it's just always a word. So it's a really great
Let me
book.
borrow it after you.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I will. See, okay, so I will say the last book Catherine gave me, she did inscribe it with a message.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
So I have to give this back so you can inscribe it with your
can.
wisdom.
Yes, you can give it back to me so I can inscribe. Yes.
Because I go and read what you wrote. I go back to that. So
That means a lot. That's one thing about Chelsea that I love. And, Kristen's a yin to my yang. But one thing I can say about Chelsea, she be receiving. She be receiving. Kristen sometimes it be like, but Chelsea, it be, she be receiving. She be receiving. And I really do, I always admired that about her. Like, even if we in a moment of contention, I feel like you always circle back with the, I received that. I got that. I love that. I really do love that about you. Because not everybody, I'm a work in progress on that part, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially if it's some stuff that I don't want to hear.
Well, I appreciate it. And I also feel like, it's also who it comes from too. Like for me, like if I have like a deep admiration, like respect for you too, like it is going to sink in more and I'm going to receive it, and also, I know no matter, how raw you may give me something.
Coming from a place of love.
It's coming from a place of love. Like the intention, the good intention is always there. So
I'm glad you know that.
yeah, I do.
Hold on to that.
I will.
With everything. Don't let it go. Don't let it go. Don't let it go. No, it's always from a place of love.
Yes.
Okay, so Chelsea got her journal. We got journals. Not with us, but in your journal, Chelsea, I want you to just obviously that's your journal, do what you want to do. But what I would love to see you do is just continuously manifest what you want in this upcoming season and put that into the journal. So what are you manifesting in this current season? Your canvas is blank and you get an opportunity to paint it. What does it look like?
Well, for me, I think the biggest thing is finding my purpose. Like that's the biggest thing that I'm manifesting in this season. Another thing is just continuously putting myself in spaces that don't feel comfortable, initially for me. But I know that that's where, growth lies.
Yes.
And so I want to continue to do that. I told myself also I want to start doing where I read one book a month.
Oh, okay.
At least one book a month. And then outside of that, it's just to continuously, Mom and I were having a talk. I said, I really, in this season, and I don't feel like I was like a taker. Like I didn't feel like I, never gave, but just putting my focus on being more of a giver and being intentional about that.
Yes, that's money.
Oh,
That's
okay,
money.
that's money.
Yeah, that's money.
Okay,
That's
okay,
money.
That's money. Okay, I got
That's
it.
money.
I got it.
So yeah, so and
I'm making her rich. Dang, don't hate on her coins. She hating on your coins. She mad because I'm giving you money now.
Yeah. No, and I was just gonna say, last thing is just every day that I wake up, just making sure that I'm curating the right set.
Yeah.
Just making sure that I'm like waking up with, the right mindset, positive attitude, great energy, and taking that into the different spaces that I go throughout the day.
I agree. That is so incredibly important. It's so incredibly important. I think that's one of the things I was going to say too, like earlier. With purpose, it is so much about you giving. Giving. And I do think you have to be very intentional and purposeful about like filling up your own cup so you aren't depleted, so you have more to give. So like I do feel like that whether it's your morning routine or your nightly routine, like or even your midday routine, but there has to be some point within the day, within the week where you're just like being intentional about pouring into yourself.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Kristen, what we manifesting in this season?
I'm manifesting my our event space. I'm manifesting our event space. I'm manifesting prosperity. I'm manifesting just continuing to be surrounded by good people.
Yeah.
And just making sure that I'm, staying planted in the right soil. And then just making sure that, my kids are along with me, for the journey, and manifesting, the things that are for them. Because, and teaching them to manifest, and
For sure. Because there is so much power in that. Just being able to like, to envision something and then to make that vision, to see it come to fruition. Like that's everything. And that's one of the things that you continue to collect along the way. So when stuff starts to get hard, when the climb starts to get rough, when that terrain, like starts to get real rocky, you got something to go back to, like you got something in the toolbox. Like, no, like I did this. I've been here before, and not only did I overcome it, but like I'm stronger, I'm more resilient because of it, So I think having that is like, it's everything.
Yeah. And I always want them to like be like, like how we are with mom. Like she never gave up. Like she's strong. Like she been through the trench. She toughed it out. She made it through it. She like that's how I want my kids to look at me.
And they will. They will. I think for me, like definitely what I'm manifesting in this next season is just continuously being all in, and I want to be able to, one of my prayers to God, or my ask to God every single morning during our conversation is, please show me how I can be a blessing and who I could be a blessing to. Any way that I could be a vessel, any way that I could be a good steward of your will, your work, and your way, like show me. Like I want to operate continuously in that space. So just being all in and ensuring that I am in the pocket, that I am singing in tune and on beat and being in, his season.
Amen.
And just success.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to necessarily, just success and quality. Like I really want to be able to build out this community with J. Crew. I want to be able to take the J. Crew on some incredible, impactful, enriching, and entertaining trips. And so I'm extremely blessed to have had you two here today, ensuring that happens. Because I feel like it was a great trip. And I understand the vulnerability. I understand the transparency, the openness that came with you taking this trip and doing all this. And I want to tell you like how much I value it and just appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to echo that and just say how proud I am of all of us for doing this.
Yeah.
And, you know, for you constantly, like for me, you have always been like the biggest inspiration.
Yeah.
Because you always chase your lion.
Every time.
You know, for me, like growing up and being able to like constantly see that, like it just reaffirms like my belief that I'm gonna get to that place.
And you will.
Yeah.
And you are.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely inspirational to have someone to look up to who never quits. Who's constantly all in all the time.
I appreciate that. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to watch you guys on your journey, but then also to be able to have that support and that fuel. Like I said, I'm super sorted in the sense that like y'all have always had my back, you know, like with everything that I've done, like whatever project it is, you know, whether I needed y'all to come help set design on, you know, like on a quick notice, whether I needed you to be a production, whatever I needed you to be, like, I feel like you guys have always been there, and it's incredibly rewarding and enriching to be able to have that in sisters. So I'm super sorted.
Y'all better get you some.
Y'all better get you some.
I don't know if they can find us.
It's money. It's money. Okay, so why do you feel like your journey is worth traveling?
I feel like my journey is worth traveling because it's my purpose. It's my divine purpose. So that's why it's worth traveling.
Yeah.
God put us all here for a reason.
Yep.
He uniquely designed us, you know, so we each have our own individual talents that he's given us, and it would be a disservice to not only ourselves, but to him if we don't pursue what he's called us to do.
Yes.
And so, you know, like that's honestly like why I feel like my journey is worth traveling, because our purpose on this earth is to serve him and his will. So, and what he's called us to do.
Yeah.
I agree. It is an incomplete journey, you know, if we don't find and live in our purpose. So for the J crew that is out there, for that person who may not think that they have it, or maybe they're in a season where they're not necessarily all in, or that B, you know what I'm saying, like is over there, you know, messing with them, like what would you say to J crew? How would you encourage them to just continue to discover and live?
I would say, like for me, having dealt with that B.
Okay, this is what we gonna do. We gonna tell it to what?
Back up off me.
Back up off me. Okay, now we done told them to back up off of us. Then what, Chelsea?
No, I was just gonna say, so, you know, having dealt with, you know, that B, just be kind to yourself. Like,
Yes.
be patient with yourself.
Give yourself grace.
Be loving to yourself. Give yourself grace. Like, this isn't an easy journey. Like, life isn't easy, but it's well worth it. And I will say, be patient. Be patient with the process. Be patient in God's timing. And in the midst of that, like, identify, you know, maybe the things that you individually should work on so that you're able to receive, you know, that purpose and who God has called you to be. Because like I said, I had to identify that in that space, in that season, I wasn't ready. Mentally, I wasn't ready. So there were things that I needed to work on in order to prepare myself for what he's getting ready to do in my life.
Yes. Okay, I gotta ask you though. So what is one of the things that you found was just the best thing that you extended to yourself or implemented to get ready?
My biggest hurdle was like my subconscious mind. And
The
yes,
wilderness is going on in your mind.
The wilderness that's going on in my mind has Love these sounds. That's probably been like my biggest challenge as far as like what's, like held me back.
Mm-hmm.
And so just being intentional every single day, like I've learned to, like when I have these thoughts, to just observe them,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't absorb them.
Mm.
Because if I let something sit too long, it'll consume me. And
Yeah.
so I acknowledge what that bee is saying, but I tell her, back up off me. Oh, whoa. So that's what I do. So I think that's been the biggest thing for me.
I love that. What's your words of encouragement to the crew? Now you had time to think about it.
I mean, it's just the same thing. Just have patience, and just know that it's not your timing; it's God's timing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything happens in His time, and and once He feels like that you're ready to receive what He has for you, He'll plan it for you. You know, just make sure that you have your seed and it's in the right soil.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
you're constantly tending to it.
Tend to your garden. You got to
Tend to
tend
it.
to your garden. You got to tend to your garden. I definitely think that, in tending to your garden, it's just this understanding too, like you got it. Like you got it. The game is rigged for you to win. You just have to play it. And no matter like what space you're at, like whether you find yourself in the lowest valley of your life, like just know that there's something on the other side of it. And I feel like it's never the things that I do that I'm going to regret. It's the things that I don't do. Like that's really like what keeps me up.
Yeah.
Is if I'm laying on my deathbed and I'm like, dang, like I didn't do that because I was worried about what so-and-so say, was going to say about me. Because I was worried about this event, you know what I'm saying? Event not being enough, because I was worried about this show not being enough. Like that's what kept me from living out my purpose or doing what God designed me to do.
Yeah.
Like somebody else, or really me allowing for that somebody else to be the thing that I decided not to overcome.
Yeah.
Like no. We're not going to stop, and we're not going to settle.
Woo. Give yourself
Can I give myself some money?
Mm-hmm.
Some money?
Give yourself some money.
I give myself some money?
One.
Just one. Okay. Selfish. Who's selfish? I really appreciate you guys. I feel like we definitely found some purpose in this wilderness
I would agree.
Yeah.
of life.
I agree.
I believe that we have arrived at a place. We're gonna do that one more time. I like that one.
Okay.
You like that one?
Yeah,
No,
yeah, do it
okay, I'm gonna
again.
give it one more time. Oh, okay.
Oh
Thank
my
you,
God.
J. Crew. Until our next trip.
Thanks,
Thank you,
J.
J. Crew.
Peace and blessings.
It's been fun.